We'll give Kasia Bodurka the all clear now as we go outside into the sun and the cold on this Wednesday.
That's right, Suzanne. It's so deceiving. Our cameraman said that himself. You know, you look outside, it looks lovely, beautiful, sunshine, a little bit of clouds, but you know, it is quite cold. It's about -4 in southern Ontario in the GTA, but it feels closer to -10 with the winds. Obviously, nowhere close to the kind of winds that they're seeing out east, but you know, winds coming in from the northwest, making it feel much, much colder. So certainly bundling up as you're heading out for your drive home or wherever you're heading, because obviously temperatures are getting cooler into the evening hours. So I'd love you to stay with us. Oh, and also when we come back, we're going to be talking to our friends at CAA. They just launched their annual Worst Roads campaign. Sorry, I got hair in my mouth because of the winds. So we're going to be talking about the worst roads in South Central Ontario coming up throughout the show. So you need to stick around for that as well. We do have updates on that monstrous storm out east. We'll be going live there yet again, and of course talking a little bit more about the conditions for us across southern Ontario and when it will finally warm.
But I know a lot of you have been complaining as we've had a lot of potholes going on, lots of bumpy roads. And for more on that, we're going to send it over to Kasia, who's checking out CAA and their Worst Roads campaign.
That's right. Thanks so much, Chrissy. Yeah, you know, the extreme temperatures that we've been seeing have contributed to the potholes. And, you know, 'tis the season. They're really going to be revealing themselves now that we're finally in the spring melt, apparently, right? Apparently. But those temperatures, they are going up, aren't they? So here's Faye Lyons of CAA. Faye, you know, it's not necessarily just about complaining about the worst roads. There's a whole lot more behind the campaign to make it all change. More on your weather. The Weather Network.
Temperatures as we get into April. Kasia, you're outside. It's spring, doesn't feel like it, but the CAA has an important spring campaign going on.
That's right. The annual Worst Roads campaign is on in its 11th year, by the way, Suzanne. Now, I'll tell you, I'm from the Oshawa area. That's where I grew up. I now live in Toronto, but anybody in Oshawa knows that Ritson Road is the worst. And I know that it made it to the campaign. So the campaign is all about empowering the motorists, isn't it? And actually make things change, right? All right. Thank you so much, Faye. And of course, I'd love it if you would stay with us for more on your weather story coming up.
And some of those roads, well, a little bit on the bumpy side. In fact, some of the worst roads are going to be all part of the CAA campaign that Kasia has more to talk about.
Thanks so much, Chrissy. Actually, no, the evening drive home has begun, and we're just outside of the CAA building on Leslie Road in the Thornhill area. We did talk about the CAA Worst Roads campaign, which has kicked off yesterday. So if you do have a road in mind, now is the time to vote for that. In the meantime, your temperature story, it's chilly outside. It's deceiving when you look outside. Beautiful sunny skies, but more on your weather story coming up.
And some steadier rain overnight into Friday, but rain, Kasia, and 8 degrees. We've got warmer temperatures coming. Can you believe it? You shivering outside today.
I know. I'll take the 8 degrees anytime, Suzanne. You know, after seeing video earlier of Chris St. Clair out there, I almost feel guilty for complaining about this weather, but it does feel like -10 with the winds. And how does Joe feel about that? We've been talking to people on the street. How do you feel about the weather lately, Joe?
Heat.
Waiting for the heat. Well, tomorrow, closer to 8 degrees, but rain. All right. What about those roads out there to you inside, Chrissy?
Thanks so much, Kasia. Well, you're not alone, Joe. Especially you're not alone if you're traveling along the roads.
We're in the cold section of that trough, and someone who knows the cold pretty well today, Kasia, out in the field.
Yeah, Suzanne, you know, I won't even dare, though, complain about the weather after hearing and seeing what our friends out in the East Coast are dealing with. But may I say, yeah, it is cold. This is the cold sector. Temperatures feel closer to -10, -11 with the winds. Mind you, they're not gusting anywhere close, obviously. Our last peak wind gust around 40 coming in from the west, making things feel much cooler. Temperatures, base temperatures around -4 in much of the GTA for now. And of course, it will be getting a little cooler once that sun does come down. By the way, brilliant sunshine. It's beautiful. And for that reason, it's also deceiving. So if you're just peering outside, dress warmer than what it looks. I'm going to send it back to you inside now, Suzanne, with more.
Thanks very much, Kasia. Great advice. Clear skies, sunshine, longer days. What a cold start and a cold evening ahead. However, watch the temperature contrast.